disgusting.
We're all disgusting.
We're toxic.
We're toxic.
We're toxicity in person. Swaggy, swaggy, swaggy. Swaggy, 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 swaggy.
So I
Swaggy.
just
Swaggy.
recently made my third mood board the other day. I just quit my job too because I don't know who needs money, right?
Yeah, I've quit. The Dojo Club is actually down right now by the time this airs because
You don't need it anymore.
I can't hold my
Yeah.
laughing. I can't hold my laughing. By the time this airs, the Dojo Club is like no longer a thing.
Yeah, same with I'm bringing down Steam Reaper because I just think it's better to be crafting mood boards instead. Yes. You have snot on your. It's nasty. Yeah, I think my time is better spent just making mood boards.
I think my mood board is just
and,
on point.
just like
Let me just make sure.
just attuning to that frequency. I read The Secret once a month.
Once a month.
Yeah.
I really like once a week.
Oh shit.
I spend.
Well, I spend more
listen,
time making mood boards.
Listen, I've quit my job. I've quit. I've quit Dojo. I've quit fucking just my social life. All I do every day is just read The Secret, watch The Secret, and then create a mood board, and then look at that.
Yeah, me, I just now I have a water bottle in my room, so I don't even go to the washroom anymore. I just
pee in the water bottle.
yeah.
And I have my mood board like printed to like be like the label on the water bottle. So every time I'm peeing, I can just look at my mood board in water bottle
Yeah,
form.
man, just draw that frequency in,
Yeah, dude.
vibes, man.
Just get the vibes in.
Yeah.
Don't do any work. Just fucking sit down and look at fucking pictures.
Yeah.
Just print pictures
Just make
out.
it into reality, manifest,
You're just manifesting, dude. Just
Yeah, bro.
fucking
Just-
jack off, do a
yeah.
mood board, watch The Secret,
Jack off to your mood board.
jack off to your mood board, just wank it out.
That
Make sure-
that
sure you-
surely you will reach your goal.
Oh, dude, come on. You're just going to wake up one day and your mood board is just going to fucking, the image is going to be gone, transformed into the actual real thing.
Turn
It's going to
into
be a car in your fucking
turn into an
room.
organism.
Yep. Your mom might be dead by the time it happens, and you might be 89.
Blasphemy not
Welcome
go
to
there.
the episode 18
of the Ataraxy
of the Ataraxy podcast. Sorry you caught us having a deep conversation about the importance of mood boards
And The Secret, just
and the
manifest,
secret
bro.
and how it is very
How-
important to just not do any work and just sit down thinking about the reality that you're trying to live in.
Yeah, and the future that you're
What do
trying
you
to
think of
craft
that?
for
What do you
yourself.
think of just mood boards, dude?
Bro, mood boards? I think like
You know what I think they should do?
what?
We should replace resumes with just like mood boards.
I've already done that.
I think like,
I got the job actually.
you know what I'm going to do
Board, but I quit.
for my new job?
What?
I'm just going to put a photo of myself. I'm going to walk there. You're going to come with me, okay? We're going to bring a couple cameras. I'm going to bring a couple cameras.
GoPros
Right.
on our heads.
We're going to take a couple photos of myself pretending to work there. Put it as my mood board. And then when I apply, when I have the photo there, I'm going to be, here's my mood board. This is what I want. It has to become a reality. That's how it works. Just manifesting, dude.
You've like been here before
Yeah, dude.
in
It's
your
like,
head.
it's like my 5th lifetime.
You're hired.
Bro.
What do we want to talk about today?
I want to talk about like a few things. I want to talk about somewhat like related to that because I've been thinking about that a lot, but not like the dumb shit that niggas get fed,
Right.
the low effort shit that niggas get fed,
Just read The Secret, bro.
the low effort dopamine filled shit niggas get fed every day. How do I do that?
Bro, you bought it. This is in your house most of the time. How do you not know how to do this?
I use this every Monday, and then I put it away in my fucking wardrobe.
True.
So shut the fuck up. We've used it around the same amount of times.
I concede.
But I think it's just the law of attraction gets very, very like it's just
Convoluted.
lazy niggas figuring out how to use non-lazy shit and then turning it into into
And
like
putting it on their blogs. Yeah,
putting
this is
it-
all you need.
turning it into lazy shit. Because
Yeah.
I remember watching The Secret at like, what was I, like 15? And then it was on Netflix for like a bit. I don't know if it's still on there, but I remember watching it. It was like the first thing they did was use big niggas, like big names. I think
Wasn't Tony Robbins on it?
I don't think so. Not in the video. I think it was like Oprah.
Mm.
I think Oprah's one of the big people in that. But
Oprah.
yeah, I think it was Oprah and like a few other niggas. I don't remember fully, but
Bob
it
Proctor.
was a.
That nigga.
I know that guy.
What does he do?
Teach people how to shift their paradigms, dude.
Of course.
Yeah, he probably has very practical advice.
Yeah,
I've seen some of his lectures, but it's just lazy niggas see that, and I think the documentary is very like made to
Wishy-washy.
sell.
It's like
It's made to sell.
It's like a bypass. Like, oh, I don't really need to do work, so let me just attune to the law of attraction.
Let me just make
you
a
know?
better mood board. Because that I could just be laying on my bed
Yeah.
using a mood board app, just placing nice pictures, filling myself with dopamine of cool places, imagining I'm there, put it in there. and then
Crayola.
just
Buy Crayola markers.
make it my wallpaper. And every time I use my computer, guess what I'm seeing?
Midbar.
My mood board manifesting, dude, all the time, every
I'm
time.
gonna manifest a 40-acre house,
I don't know how. I don't care.
but it's gonna happen just because I made a midbar. Anyways,
Listen.
sorry for wasting your time.
It's just it's so funny. That's replacing mating call. We have like a meme every week that we just create for ourselves and we just fucking abuse it for the week. And
We always manage to find a new one.
Last
though.
week was just mating
Mating
calls. But it's just like they're supposed to sell, so they can't bring you like they can't make you think about painful things like the process. Oprah probably worked her ass off to become a successful billionaire, but she had the visualization part
Yeah.
in there too. But that's easier to sell than telling someone that you're gonna have to make a fucking shit ton of sacrifices on your way there. You're gonna have to fucking lose sleep hours if it's necessary, depending on what you want. If you want to just like, I don't know, make $50K a year and have a solid family, spend time raising some children with a fucking wife and whatever, and go on vacations here and there, then you don't need a law of attraction. You don't need. I mean, yeah,
it'll help.
you're gonna
I mean,
attract it
it's
because
a-
that's what you're looking for.
Right. It's like
either way,
it's like a byproduct of actually reaching it. Like,
yeah. I mean, either way, the law of attraction is just the universe. Your subconscious, which is 95% of your being, is always constantly working to answer questions that you have and fulfill your demands. So, like, if that's what you want, you're gonna end up shifting into that.
right.
Like, if you have 3 weeks to do an essay or 2 months to do an essay at school, it takes you 2 months. If you don't make yourself do it in less, and you're like, I have 2 months, like the day before the due date, you're gonna be finishing it. Because your brain is just serving you according to the time that you gave it.
Right.
If you gave it a week, an essay that probably took you 2 months to make, you could probably finish in a week. But you're giving yourself 2 months. Your subconscious is serving you up whatever you're asking it, because it has other shit that it has to deal with. So it's just
So
like,
crazy.
yeah, I think it's called Parkinson's law. A task fills up the time that it is given to be completed, or something like that. I'm paraphrasing, but that's the thing. It's like however long you give yourself to complete a task is however long you'll take it. That's where procrastination comes from. That's why every time when you're starting school, you see the syllabus, you're like, okay, I have until November 15th to finish this final essay. November 14th, you're still not going to be done.
And that applies to like just busy people too who have a whole bunch of shit. Like if you're working 2 jobs, school, plus you're trying to get a certificate of some sort.
And
You can do it because
trying to start a startup, and you're trying to better your mood board.
No, exactly. you will be able to do it just because you have those limits in place. And it's like, okay,
You'll figure it out.
It's do or die.
24 hours playing time.
Yeah.
I mean, you fucking spend a third of your life sleeping. You probably sacrifice some of that if you really need to.
Yeah.
I mean, fucking, I would send you the Elon stuff and how this nigga is just like, I was losing my mind trying to save this company. Fucking.
So sad, bro.
Dude.
Watching that.
To think that, like, this guy's doing this thing not because he wants to, but because he feels like he has to. Like, basically, it's just a survival mechanism. Basically, he's just probably just so smart that he just sees where, and probably has so many connections to what's going on in the industry and society. He probably sees where things are probably going to go. Because, bro, if we keep going on with gas cars, it's gonna fuck us up. It's been fucking us up since the invention of gas cars.
Like we need to slow down.
And-
Like I was reading the paragraph I told you to read today. It was like the hunters, the Paleolithic hunters, who managed to kill 2 mammoths instead of 1. That's success. That's progress. But those who killed 200 at one time by pushing them off a cliff, they got that high of
It's too much.
right. It's too much. Okay, they feed themselves for how long, but now they have no more mammoths to kill, and their carcasses are just rotting. So now you can't eat any of it, and now you're dead.
They've over satisfied that desire, and then when it arises again, which inevitably it will, because it'll break down all the food eventually, and then now you've gotten rid of all of them, so you don't have anything.
It's that hormetic response thing.
When 2 was enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's basically what he's doing. He's just like the same thing with the AI stuff. Same thing with the space stuff. It's just like the space stuff is like his out if things really, if all his efforts on Earth don't work out, the space thing is his like, because the quote he says for the thing he says for the mission of SpaceX is like, we could live and become a multiplanetary species and live on multiple planets and last probably longer because, or we could stay on one planet and wait until like some natural disaster or self-induced extinction happens. Because anytime some shit could just decide to blow up this fucking place up. Anytime.
Solar flare, fucking atmosphere.
Anytime.
Fucking burns.
Like we don't know how this shit works. We've just seen shit and then we've made conclusions from that. But there's still some new shit that could happen at any time. This Earth could probably have been a ticking time bomb for the past however years it's been around. Like, and then all of a sudden it just
imagine
explodes.
You're an astronaut. Like I watched One Strange Rock, the first episode. And Chris Hadfield is just talking about like when you're up there, the Earth is just one thing. Like there's no separation between anything. All you see, and that thin blue line, that's the atmosphere. That's like if you put your pinky up against that, it's probably thinner than that. Fuck. So like just scale, right? That shit, the atmosphere is keeping us alive. But
outside of it, there's nothing.
Yeah. And now that it's thinning because of all the pollution, and like
the
forest fires in
there
LA,
could be a moment where it just
just snaps,
gone.
It just burns everything.
And we just realize we can't breathe or whatever it's keeping us like from, because it keeps us from burning too much too, right?
Yeah,
it filters sun shit, right? So start burning. We start not being able to breathe or whatever. Whatever happens, we just run out of resources. That can easily
happen in our lifetime. Our lifetime, that can easily happen.
Anytime. If we
keep going at this pace.
And that's why this guy is so focused on like, because that company doesn't give him any good on the individual side. Like
Elon?
he's describing the company having a production issue and having to sleep in the factory.
Right.
On a little couch with a stupid ass flat ass pillow. The couch is hard as fuck. And the guy talking about how he doesn't recommend it to anyone. It's painful to his heart and his mind.
Hurts his brain.
It hurts his brain.
Yeah, bro. His face, he was like, hurts my brain. Man.
He looked like he was about to fucking burst out crying in that interview when he said that. He was like, I actually felt like he genuinely said to anyone who might be watching, don't try this, don't do this. Like, and
well, the thing, what he's trying to do is on such a big scale, like sustainable
and it's multiple, and like Jordan Peterson describes perfectly. He's constantly doing impossible things. Yeah. This guy built an electric car, put it inside a rocket, shot it into the air, put the electric car in space, and then landed the fucking rockets. Like, what the fuck? And now he's trying to put chips in human brains because he's afraid that if we don't, we're going to make cyborgs that are going to fucking annihilate us and take us over. Because right now, the way AI is looking is that it's just going to be our last invention. We're just creating
so he's trying
the
to
next species.
Make it so that we can symbiote with the technology.
What do you think of that? Because like that's easy to get scared of with the Black Mirror stuff, which is basically dystopian most of the time.
Because like if the power gets into the wrong hands, then easily it's like you can from one point
brain ads.
Right. Brain ads. Central control of everybody's brain to fire neurons at a certain speed, whatever, to control them to do one certain thing.
But imagine the new difficulties that arise if like you can learn a language in a day. You could download guitar skills, download piano skills.
Karate. That's basically
there's gonna be businesses built off that. here, pay $100 and download this like Beethoven piano
And like
skills.
so much things are just based on the agendas of industry, like veganism, for example. Like, okay, veganism, you're saving animals, blah blah blah, whatever. But
What
is
is
it
that?
is
How
it
is
even healthy for you to be a vegan? I mean, you're
How
not.
is it helping the population?
It's
Unless
it's
they're
not
not-
because
if they're not going
animals
extinct.
are still being slaughtered. It's not like being a vegan. Oh, seems like
You know what's-
population's being a vegan. Let's
You know what's-
stop slaughtering animals.
You know what's funny? Like we've started to make a big deal when we've seen the automated process of slaughtering them, but the thing is, we just used to do it by hand.
Right, which is better though, because then
Of course,
yeah,
we used to do it by hand, but we're still slaughtering them. We've just made it easier because
and you're not
that's just a human thing. But
easier, and you're disconnected from the actual act of killing.
Because
you just press a button.
because the fact that like a robot's doing it makes you seem more inhumane. There's less like
And bro, like,
process,
like,
so people are seeing
meat,
it as a negative
I don't
thing.
even like meat with bones because like
Say a word.
just because it's a bother, right? You have to
Yeah, true.
Like if you actually kill the
Only
animal
fish.
yourself firsthand, you'd be like, oh shit, this is a living thing's bone. Like you would just have that experience.
I think it's just everything.
Like there's a huge gap.
Like those animals kill animals.
Yeah,
Ruthlessly.
Yeah, exactly. And what we were saying last podcast that we didn't explain quite well was how like and humans are the most important species in the planet because we can vote, we can create this technology, we can
We're
create
the
electric
only
cars.
ones aside from the space capable of destroying this planet right now.
Right, and also doing the exact opposite.
No dogs, no cows can do that.
Right. So that's why I mean it's okay if like you're eating a cow, like it's fine. That cow is giving you energy to better sustain the world.
Yeah.
If your motives are right.
I mean, yeah, because protein provides you with energy.
Yeah.
Like after you work out, they
Right.
recommend that you
It's
eat
all
protein,
information.
right? So if you're eating this animal, this meat, because you want energy, so you could continue building this idea that you think is going to be very important for a society or for the future, whatever. Like, nigga, there's nothing wrong with that. Like this
Just don't
animal
abuse
is not even self-aware.
Mm-hmm.
The only reason why the animal runs away is because that's normal survival
Yeah.
instinct.
Like we're the only ones who have that gap between instinct and
And
like just
intellectual
conscience. Yeah,
like
exactly.
thought and thinking about
Yeah.
those instincts.
Like,
We're
we
the
can take that
only
step
ones
back and-
capable
yeah.
of thinking that.
that's crazy.
Otherwise, we could have just been unself-aware, killing animals all the time, not
Yeah.
even caring about it.
Just because it's our instinct.
And then animals are getting killed, not caring
Yeah, it's
about
like,
it.
I'm
Just
hungry.
Run
Let
away.
me go find a cow.
They run away. They lose. That's just the way things go.
Yeah.
That's just the normal cycle. A fucking what is it? What are those animals like the Bambi, fucking the gazelle?
Mm.
You find a gazelle running, a leopard catches it. This is
Game.
how things go. The
Yeah.
gazelle wasn't fast enough to run away.
And the beautiful thing is, the moment they die, it's like bliss. It's bliss to them because now,
don't
like they
know.
release everything. They
don't-
just relax.
They're just dead.
They have nothing else to worry about, and like they're just at bliss because they have nothing else to worry about. There's no more suffering caused by life.
But we'd still give a fuck though if dogs got killed.
Oh yeah. That's like an
'Cause-
emotional thing. Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't know.
But I'm speaking like down to the actual, just the natural cycle of life. Like it's how it is. But
I
we
think it's just the fact that it's been so turned into like this
industry.
industrialized, emotionless thing. Like
And it's-
people
and it's going
when
too
they
fast.
used to hunt and then find animals used to be a big deal. You used to hunt to prove your worth to a
Yeah.
woman back when on the hunter gatherer
to
days.
survive.
Like to show your way as a worthy leader to the fucking whole tribe. You had to hunt and like whatever you hunted, use it as ornaments so that you could show how powerful you are and how strong you are. And they had worth. But now it's just mass production, just making money.
And that's why
And now veganism is
that-
being
that-
turned to that
yeah.
too.
Yeah. I mean, who's fueling all those ads and marketing? Like, it's just silly, man.
Bunch
Because
of ideas.
like we're all so like, capitalism. Like, no, you're feeding into it. Everybody is, but I'm just trying to do it the least I can, with it, so that I can sustain myself the most without having to rely on that.
I'm not fully against it, but I know it's gonna change. I know we're gonna find newer ways of doing the whole game of living as a society. It's just capitalism is just the best way we found to
Right.
sustain order.
Right, it's a free market. It's just like power gets into the wrong hands, of course.
Yeah, but back to
Because
the
need becomes greed, right?
yeah. back to the power. Desire for power never goes away. It's just a normal human wiring thing, and even though we're capable of thinking beyond transcendent,
right. And that's why I
that,
think like with my whole like like the sustainability thing, my goal is to slow down the rate of consumption for all of society. So that's in terms of like fashion, in terms of like food. Like you can fast, bro. That's okay. Like you'll be alive. Like
bro,
you'll still
the amount
live.
of people
You'll
I see,
even be healthier.
I mean, we've experienced it, both of us,
Yeah.
like saying like, oh, we're fasting, and then people are like, I could never do
yeah,
that.
like shut up. You can
I
do
could
it if you
never
tried.
do that. Nigga, it's kids who are eating once a week.
And that shit starts from like you can't make a product and be like, okay, this is gonna sustain you. Like this is the solution to all the problems. No, it's never material. Change starts from within. You have to just be love.
The fact that people think they can't go 12 hours without eating is fucking insane. Now that I've actually tried going 12 hours
It's
without
not hard,
eating
right?
willingly, dude,
First day it is.
after a week, you forget about it.
Yeah.
I don't even need to. That app, I deleted it off my phone.
Yeah, you
I
don't
just
need it.
stopped eating, and
'Cause
I'm
this-
like, okay, I'll eat tomorrow at 2.
Yeah, because that thing right there, it's a metric. You try to keep a metric. So, you have a meditation app. Okay, that's fine, and that exposes people to the actual fact, and then like it exists, right?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, this is a book. You should read it. Blah blah blah. But you should not be reliant on that app because then you're gonna depend on it. Oh,
Like, I
don't-
can't meditate without the
I don't
app.
have my phone charged. Like what? That's
I
silly.
can't meditate. I need the app to meditate, or else it won't work. I need the guided meditation all the time. All the time, I need guided meditation. It's fucking so fucking. But there's so many ways I could go, because I've consumed so much information this week.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I'm gonna keep the binaural beat stuff on that podcast, because I
I've
heard
even
that
heard it.
it's not recommended for people prone to seizures, pregnant women, people who have like schizophrenic, blah blah blah. I don't want to be responsible for that and have to deal with damage control for that, so I might just remove it. But one thing I think that's been really like, because the shit I texted you yesterday, the emotion, dash motion,
Paul
energy
Chek
and
thing,
motion. It's
Yeah, that tripped the fuck out of me when he said it. He's the trippiest guy alive.
that's not the first time I heard it, because I've been into that like weird visualization, spirituality, emotion, blah blah blah, create your reality shit like since 2015 when I watched The Secret, and I was like, what the fuck is the law of attraction? But I think it's just a part of the thing, but it's not the full thing.
Right.
I think I don't think I finished that point. Is the fact that it's a Hollywood thing. It's a product that people consume. The Secret. They're showing you the part that makes you feel good. Oh, you want this Lamborghini? Cut out a picture of this Lamborghini, carry it
Put it on the
around,
wall.
and then put it on the wall in your room and tell yourself, I'm going to have a Lamborghini. I'm going to have a Lamborghini, and stay away from any negative thoughts, because that's going to take the Lamborghini away. Never think negatively. Never. Even though you can't control your thoughts, never think negatively. And that's it. That's all they tell you. Just put a damn Lamborghini in your room. Put a damn Lamborghini in your pockets. Think about Lamborghinis all the time. Watch videos of Lamborghinis. Imagine yourself in Lamborghinis, and then that's it.
Yeah.
But they don't tell you, go out and try to make the money to buy the Lamborghini. Still.
Drive your first car. Like, how are you gonna drive a Lamborghini?
Yeah,
if you've never driven?
maybe you might have to go through 6 cars before you get to that Lamborghini. They don't show you the pathway. They show you the Lamborghini. Focus on that. Focus on
It's
that.
a theory. There's no practical.
Exactly.
I mean, it's practical too, but
It's practical,
To an
but the
extent.
practical part is never shown to you how you do it. It's never said that there's still gonna be
Yeah.
pains in
it's
that
not,
process.
And it's not like, yeah, that's the part that's missing. It's like,
Yeah, that's
there's
the-
the polarity.
Because I think what I've been trying now is, it's the shit I said in the second episode we did with Hamza, orange bike. I tell you orange bike this morning. We talk about orange bikes for 5 minutes. All of a sudden, for the rest of the day,
Right.
you seem to just be seeing orange bikes,
Right.
just very randomly.
Your brain is
out of
programmed
nowhere.
to search for it.
You've programmed your brain to search for orange bikes. If you want a Lamborghini, right? You can talk about the orange bike and then stay home for the rest of the day. You're not gonna see any orange bikes, but
Exactly.
you still have to step out and go ahead and have a day, and you'll just start seeing them. Maybe you've been trying to buy an orange bike. Now you can find them. But if you're out here talking about I want a Lamborghini, your brain is now primed to find a Lamborghini, but you're not
Yeah.
moving it in a way where it can look around. You're staying in the room with four walls, and all it sees is just these Lamborghinis, but it's not seeing any tangible way for you to get one, a tangible one. You're just in your head now. Like
Right,
you're not completing the balance of
You might as well not have a body.
exactly. You're living in your head too much. Now it's only real in your head. Yeah, you're enjoying that. You're getting filled with dopamine, but you're not getting, when you're going out to like reality, that Lamborghini doesn't exist.
Mhm.
So it's just, I think the work part, people are still missing out. And of course, I'm only 19. I don't have any like credit to my name to say that what I'm saying is true. Maybe whatever they sell you in a secret, all you actually need to do is just sit down, and somehow someone's just gonna call you and say, "Hey, man, I have a free Lamborghini for you. You want to claim that?" Maybe, who knows? The universe works in weird ways. That may be a real thing. But all I've seen in every people I've studied is they've not only talked about a different version of the law of attraction, where they were like, one day I woke up, I said, I'm gonna fucking go for this. I want this art shit, I want this fashion shit, I want this music shit, I want this startup shit, I want to build a big company. I have this, Steve Jobs was just like, found computers, and he was like, okay, this is big, I want to do something with that. And then now they've primed their brain for that. But then they tell you the entire story of how the workless nights, stressing, having to fucking skip out, going out on weekends, working 10 hours a day, sleeping in the studio, falling asleep on the sewing machine, waking up, keeping going right after waking up, skipping breakfast so you could finish a piece, skipping breakfast so you could finish a song, skipping breakfast so you could fix that problem at the business that's just stopping things from running properly. And then shit starting to work out 3, 4, 5, 1 to 3, 4, 5 years later. But you see 1 year, you see 2 months, and you think that's how it's supposed to work. It's going to take 2 months. It's going to take 5 months. It's supposed to take 6 months.
It's beautiful.
You know?
Yeah.
It's like you primed your brain for it, and then I think what's missing is the action part. The action, you're still to feel confident.
Too.
People tell you to act confident. You not only tell yourself that you're confident. You're supposed to act. You're supposed to keep a broad shoulder. That's how they train the niggas in the military, to have the fucking balls to go kill people and go fucking defend their countries. Before you go do that, you're spending a bunch of time learning how to carry yourself like a fucking person who's capable of handling all of that shit. And if they see that you have just a little bit of that, like just a little bit of that missing in you, they can't take you, because they don't know how your life might be endangered, or your like platoon soldiers might, exactly. You might end up causing the death of one of your like fellow like soldiers. So like, it's just, we're getting so lost in these thoughts, and just sitting down and just, living in la la land. I'm an entrepreneur. I have $1 billion company. If my company's not $1 million, not making $1 billion, it's not successful. Even though the top 1% starts at $400,000 a year. And happiness, also scientists, it's scientists, so they disagree all the time. It changes. But there's this research thing that says that over $100,000 a year, money does not correlate with happiness. So after that, like, you're good. Anything over that is just extra shit. It doesn't add anything. Because 100,000, you can, bro.
Right. How much food can you eat in a day, right?
100,000, you know how much things you can buy? Nigga, I make $10,000 a year and I feel comfortable. Just working 28 hours a week for $14 an hour, and I'm fine. Like, I could live as a 19-year-old, like, very properly. If my parents stop funding me money, I'll find a way to live easily. Yeah. But niggas want $1 million. And it's funny because they want $1 million because what's being glamorized is the millions.
Right. It's romanticized. The money, the cars, the women.
Exactly. We're showing Steve Jobs documentaries, and we think we're supposed to be Steve Jobs.
Right. But he only has like one turtleneck. He's okay with that. He's content.
Steve. But it's just, we're just lost, and it's the thing I was telling you before we started recording. It's just like a lack of self-awareness. That's what I'm fully focused in now. Now I'm like, I always question everything I do. I'm like, every day I have a fully worked day, like where I was like, that day when I shipped out the first like eBay items, I had a 9 to 2. On my way home from the 9 to 2, stopped at the post office, bought a gift card because I couldn't order online with my debit because they took credit only. So I got a gift card for Canada Post, put $200 in it, got back on the bus, got home, paid for to do the processing and the labeling and with the gift card, processed the items, took another bus, went to the Canada Post, dropped the items off, came back, did artwork for a song that was dropping the day after, finished that no, it was a Friday. So I did artwork for the song that was dropping the Wednesday after, did that, uploaded that, finished everything, put that up, and then that's done. And then the next thing, editing the podcast, make sure the podcast's ready to be exported. At the end of the day, I'm always like, is this actually something that I'm enjoying doing, or am I just telling myself that because hard work is like glamorized and being busy is glamorized? Every day I have that conversation with myself. Do I actually enjoy doing this?
Do you?
Yeah. It's the only days when, like, at the end of the day, there's like so much peace. At the end of that day, there'll be so much. I'll sleep. It's the best sleep when you not only finish accomplishing all of that, but like the reward after, which is like watching a YouTube video or watching Netflix or whatever. It's controlled too. So like, it's the six days creating the world and 1 day resting from the Bible. It's like most of the day is spent working, and that little 2 hours, I'm like letting go of all of it, and then the last hour I turn everything off. And then whether or not I'm asleep, I just sit there, either meditate or read, and I'm just like, here. I wake up feeling so good the day after. I'm like ready. But days when I'm just like wasting away and I'm watching Netflix and I do like just one thing to compensate for all the wasting time. Basically the ratio's flipped. It's flipped. 6 days rest, 1 day work. Those days I just, at the end of the day, I'm like, fuck. Like I feel like a genuine disgust with myself, like a lack of self-respect. Do you feel that way? Like,
Yeah.
How's your thing? What's your thing like?
I've been pretty lazy with work, like, because I just got the job, so I've been mostly going to work and then getting home. Just
I mean, because that was probably a lot of effort too, trying to get that job, because you've been trying to like the past like 2 months.
Yeah, and it's a lot to learn too. Like, I got a job at a suit store.
The training, yeah.
Yeah, and it's not even the training. It's just like the shit you have to know. Like the wool. I was talking to you about the fabrics, right? The wool. Why wool is the best.
Oh, is that why you've been giving me all that
Yeah,
information?
because I was just reading articles on it.
That's
Basically, wool is breathable, so you can wear it both in the summer and the winter. So it's trippy because when it gets cold, it insulates you, but when it gets warm, it takes the vapor. I don't know exactly the science, but it takes the vapor from the air and releases it in the form of like just coolness onto your body.
So it keeps you cool.
Yeah,
and keeps you warm.
yeah, same time, which is it's crazy, right?
It's crazy. And it
Where-
comes from
yeah,
it comes from nature.
Yeah, whereas polyester is
It's not
synthesized
synthetically.
as plastic, right? So it traps the heat into your body.
It's
So-
almost
which
as
is-
if the
which is
wool was
also
just
functional.
made there just to
Yeah,
be
right?
worn, right? It's almost
Yeah.
it's almost as if like it was just made there to just be worn and be useful.
Yeah,
and
and
there's
and
design in that.
wool is biodegradable, but polyester is not.
Just gets thrown in the water.
Right. When you
be
wool
absorbed by
is
fish.
also fire resistant, but polyester it's gonna melt. It doesn't even just burn. You know when you like slide on the floor,
Conductant.
it kind of like I've had like my Under Armour just burn onto my skin
Yeah,
right there.
it burns you way
Yeah.
like it's just flammable in a way. It's more flammable
It's
than
plastic.
wool would be because it's plastic. Plastic just fucking burns like crazy. So that's of course the shit that just comes naturally is the one that's just the bestly designed.
Facts.
It keeps you warm and cool at the same time, while the other one can only do one
Which
thing.
is it's also more expensive, but its quality's way better. It'll last you longer.
Isn't? Well, it's crazy how it's more expensive when it's the one we're come packaged with.
Yeah.
But the synthetically made one just costs less because we've automated the process.
Yeah.
Robots do it.
Robots do it. It's readily available.
How does plastic get made, anyways?
No idea. It's probably just a whole bunch of fucking chemicals.
But it's probably cheaper.
Oh, way cheaper. Way cheaper. That's why wool suits can go for like fucking thousands. Like the starting price point for a 3-piece wool suit is probably like $1,000.
How long do you think it's gonna
Polyester
take?
you can get it for 200.
How long do you think it's gonna take before we like either lower the plastic consumption or eliminate it and find some better way?
Bro, I don't think like it's gonna happen until the consumers start doing it. Like, because we're gonna keep consuming it, and the market there's still gonna be a market that exists.
Yeah, because the people who are broke cannot afford a 3-piece wool suit right now.
That's true.
They can't afford it, so like, and they could probably afford it if they just waited a bit, but they need that job interviewed so they could get money. And
Well, even then, like we just went to the fucking free suit drive. Like, if you really need something, you can find it. Like,
prime your brain
fucking
for it.
internet exists. Like, yeah.
Condition your brain for
Yeah.
it.
Or like I just went to the employment, like youth workforce employment initiative. Bro, it's 4 weeks. It's a 4-week program. where they help you find a job.
And they pay you.
They pay you 7 hours a day for 5 days a week. Craft your resume, cover letter. They give you first aid training, smart serve, first aid, all that shit.
It's very
free.
Canada, though.
Yeah, very Canada, yeah.
It's like a very Canada thing to do.
Imagine that was like in Nepal or Haiti. Like, bro, people would be like sprinting.
But people find, I think the reason why entrepreneurship is so like common between immigrants and why immigrants just know is because, especially immigrants that came from that country aren't born off immigrant parents. Just like they come from whatever country they immigrated from. Is because you are in such dire situations that it requires so much creativity to actually like live. Like living in Haiti, the way they just come up with shits and not only make money off, but live off, because they're so low on resources and materials that they have to learn how to do with what they have.
Self-sustainable.
So when you come to a place like this and shit is so baby soft, and you have way more resources than you had then, and you were doing crazy shit with what you had then, and now you're just here.
Roads actually exist.
There's eBay.
Internet, bro. Like
Gary talks about fucking ripping flowers off of people's gardens and reselling them on the streets.
Huh.
And that's how you probably survived in Russia.
And bro, like on street food in Nepal, like it's just it's called chatpate. So it's just like beans, onions, chickpeas, blah blah blah. It's like a treat almost. It's just a snack.
Yeah.
So here, if you're selling that, first of all, you need a permit, and you're probably you're gonna need a permit. There, they just sell it on the street, no gloves, no nothing, right?
You need a permit.
Second of all, you're probably gonna want to package it so nicely
to be better than all the other ones.
There you go, like plastic. There's waste right there. There, they just take old newspaper, fucking make it into a cone. It looks way better.
Dude, if they're selling like cooked food on the side of the street, they just find like something that could just handle the fire. Find the food, grow it themselves, raise the animals themselves, find them in the backyard, kill them, raise them themselves. They have chickens they raise properly, so the chicken tastes amazing. They fucking burn
because the chicken down to the gene is happy, down to the cell level is
just living in its natural habitat. Isn't that's the thing? That's the problem. That's the reason why. That's the only point that vegans have right, is that it tastes. You could taste the hormones. You could taste the genetically modified things. But over there, it's just like the chickens are already living
they're
there.
Free
that's
run,
their like house. That's their habitat. So you just find them. You just take them out of that when it's their time to go. They don't care.
And if you take in the science behind water, where water holds memory the best. Like if you mix something in water, like it changes color, right? So I mean, it's in the common sense sort of perspective, it's pretty clear. But there's also been scientific research on it in Japan, where I think I probably said this last podcast, but there's three buckets or 3 bowls of water with rice in it.
No, you didn't say on the podcast.
Okay.
You've said it to me offline.
3 bowls of water with rice in it. So one bowl, he said, "I love you. I hope you grow and prosper."
Then keep your mouth on the mic.
Right. The second bowl, he said nothing to. Right. The third bowl, he said, like, "Fuck you. I hate you." Blah blah blah. So the third bowl, where he was just hateful, the rice just became black. It started rotting because the water held that memory. The bowl he said nothing to, nothing happened. The first bowl where he was like, "I love you. I hope you go prosper," it started like, it was healthy. Like it blossomed. It started expanding. So there you go. And we as humans, we're like 70% water.
The earth is
or the earth
mostly.
Yeah. So animals must be too, because you can't survive without it.
So they remember.
They remember. Down to the cell level, everything remembers. So it makes sense that if you treat your animals right, it's going to taste better.
They feed you better.
They feed you better.
And then, you know what's crazy? In those situations that are sold to us on TV that are so bad in those countries, they live long as fuck.
Oh, and they're happier. Obviously, if they're starving, they're not.
Community-wise, they're just the same. It's just everyone's tight.
Bro, my grandpa
everyone's
just fucking
so
like
good to speak.
Like 2 a.m. like 2 p.m. he just goes out for a walk, hands behind his
hands
back,
behind the back,
slow as fuck,
walking slow, taking everything in. Every piece of entertainment
super
you could
present.
be looking for is right there.
No phones, no nothing.
And as much as like yes, phones are useful, your granddad could probably need to contact his, I don't know, people from Nepal or something. Get a home, get on the laptop. If he wants to learn that, get on the laptop and contact when it's time to. But he doesn't stay there longer than he should. Like when he's done talking to people, how are you? Good, everything good. Like you need money, I could transfer you some money. Good. All right, cool. Peace. Let me go take a walk.
Yeah.
That's it. But it's just like it's good, but it's just
How do you do that on a huge scale in the Western world?
But that's how things used to be. That's why old people do it. They didn't never had it.
Yeah, like today we talked to an old guy on the bus. Who was the coolest guy ever?
Oh yeah, that guy was fucking amazing.
Yeah, he was just.
But I think it's just change. I think it's just normal how change goes, lows and highs, right? There was a moment when cocaine was normal, niggas started dying, and they were like, okay, maybe we shouldn't do that. It's just we always make new things, we see how they go, and then when it's like almost too late, we're like, okay, maybe we shouldn't do that anymore. When the consequences are like physical and tangible, like I don't know, someone dying off a cocaine overdose, we're like, okay, maybe we should like not like facilitate the consumption of this. But it's too late because people are already hooked on it. It's still being sniffed at parties, but people know now. Like you could die from this. There's a dependency thing that could form from this. But I think this will take a bit more time. But this is also the start of us
Talking about phones.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Audio.
Phones. Phones could also be they also are the us like
Facilitates
evolution. It's evolution. The phone is just evolution. It's gonna not only get thinner, eventually it's not gonna be a thing. It's gonna be here.
In our brains.
It's gonna be here and it's gonna be normal and we're just gonna eventually you're gonna just start, your hand go out. I mean, we're already putting fucking metal legs on niggas. It's just gonna be fully like wired legs to mimic like nerves, and
science has come,
evolution.
Fuck, science has come so far.
It's evolution. I think it's just evolution happening. That's why I'm not too mad.
Yeah, no, you can't be.
But that whole some people really don't have control. Even us, like, it's just as soon as like things are still, it's just like,
Yeah, I need to listen to some music. Get on Instagram.
It's the only thing is it's okay to listen to music only if it's not as a form of like distraction.
Right.
Or only if you're actually listening because you want to listen to the songs. But if you're just listening to if you're just putting there as background noise, it's like you're watching Fresh Prince of Bel-Air for the 20th time because you want that comfort, because you want that noise there. You want to try anything new. You want that same show that you've been watching since 1990, whenever it came out. Because
that's
it's
even the
comfort.
same with like your spiritual practice. Like you can meditate to try to get away from something. That's why awareness. Let me go to my 20th meditation retreat. That'll fix my problem.
It'll fix my problem with my family. It'll fix me being a shitty father. 20 times down, it's still not a fixed problem. I mean, maybe the 21st is a charm.
It must be.
Maybe
Can't
the
be
21st. But having read, I'll wait for you to. I probably won't be able to wait. I'll bring up the topic eventually. But Brave New World, I think, and I'm reading 1984 now. They're both like different versions. They're both different versions of the same kind of thing of people just being controlled in both different ways, through fear and through just completely just making them live in the illusion that whatever they're controlled to do is good. And that's a great philosophical question. Like, is it fine to get people to do certain undesirable tasks if you engineer them to believe since their birth that task is what they're meant to do, and they're happy doing that task? Like, they're happy from the moment before they're born. They're being conditioned, like chemically conditioned,
because now they're
from their like size physically to mentally. Like, I don't want to spoil it too much, but in the beginning, they bring out babies, the epsilon babies. It goes alpha, beta, delta, and epsilon. And from how I listed it, epsilon is the lowest. So, they bring out the epsilon babies. They bring out flowers and books. They start playing with the flowers and books, and then randomly she presses a button, electric shock. Babies start fucking losing their shit. What are they doing? They're training the epsilons. They're just supposed to be workers. They're not supposed to do any intellectual work whatsoever. So they're going to hate books because since they were young, books have been
They've been
associated with electric shocks, with negative just feelings and emotions. So that's out of the picture. Flowers fully off because they don't want them to go into the wilderness. They're supposed to stay in industries and factories and keep working. So as soon as you see like flowers, nature, fully turned off. No, I need to go I need to go back into the civilized place.
Because that's
go do
where
my work.
Code feels comfortable.
And I'm happy. That's where my whole thing with like the conditioning messages came, and why my whole idea of you're either conditioning yourself or being conditioned came from, because from their youngins, they're being played somewhere around 140 whatever times a day, like, and that's just twice a week. One of the messages that they're being played in conditioning. There's like conditioning centers, and it's crazy because they teach that to the kids. They teach them how the conditioning works when they're old, but they're already conditioned to be favorable to that. Because it's stability. It's bringing stability to society. No one's questioning anything. Everyone's happy all the time. If you're not unhappy, have this drug that makes you trip out and live in this world where everything's forgotten. All your problems are forgotten. And you just come back. All right, time to work. So the alphas, which are the highest, are being played, I think, somewhere around the hundreds, whatever times a day, twice, 3 times a week, or every night. I'm so glad I'm an alpha and not a beta or a delta. The alphas are the strongest. The epsilons are being played. I'm so glad I'm an epsilon, being useful to society through the work I do. And then through the dialogue in the book, when the main character comes across other characters, you see them constantly repeating the conditioned messages that the author introduces us to in the beginning of the book.
They're building a structure around the chaos where it just seems orderly.
Everyone is just said, you're gonna be this, you're gonna be that, and you're gonna be happy with it. And every time there's a trigger, you're gonna say it out loud and reaffirm it. I'm so glad I'm an alpha. I'm so glad I'm a beta. So glad I'm an epsilon. So glad I'm in this part of society doing this kind of work. And art is discouraged. Fucking anything that isn't like just you working and being happy all the time, discouraged. Beauty is discouraged. You can't have tragedies because tragedies will involve instability because people are dying. Death is like fully like desensitized. No one cares about death. People don't die of old age, just die. It's just like everything is planned. So from that came like, what if I just did that to myself? What if overnight I just play this message of like whatever a truth I'm trying to seal into my subconscious, instead of having how I don't even know whatever is being fed to me all the time through work, through your training at work, through that millions of ads you see every day. You don't know how subliminal messages are being pulled through to get to you.
And at different stages of the day, you're at different wavelengths for your brain, right?
Exactly.
Isn't
theta is deep meditation.
It's also the wave that babies are mostly on, right? So that's probably the best way to program yourself.
Yeah, it's the closest you are to your subconscious without being asleep. Delta is like asleep.
Wow.
Delta waves, you're asleep. So theta, it goes alpha, beta, theta, and then delta, you're asleep, and then it go back up. And then there's gamma on top of beta.
Okay.
Beta, gamma is like full concentration, like intense focus. And then there's other ones, like I think infra something, whatever.
I'm going to try that. I'm going to try like just playing theta waves and doing something that I want to be doing.
Be very situationally aware, because alpha is like relax and then creative before you start doing the work, and then when you're doing the work you'll go between alpha and beta and gamma, depends on what kind of work you're doing, and then theta I'd say is like when you're trying to get into deep, because you get like monks are, when they've done brain scans for monks, they're mostly in theta usually, because they're such a deep, like they've been in deep meditation so much they're almost permanently in that's becoming their default like state.
The gap between their subconscious and their conscious is like minimal.
That's when the ego's dying.
Yeah.
The ego's just like
That's why babies don't care about shit.
Yeah. Babies are the best. Babies are the fucking best. Because they're even Jordan Peterson says that babies are able to speak every phoneme, every language. And then they just like cut it off to whatever language they need to speak. So they're able to speak every language. and then depending on where they are in the language they're just supposed to
Bro.
speak, they just cut off all the extra until they're stuck with that.
Imagine like programming your baby to be just fucking the smartest.
You can.
Yeah, you can.
That's why Gary talks so much about being grateful to his parents. His parents like conditioned him to not only believe in himself to that point, but also care about people, like to be selfish and selfless. Like if you watch the guy long enough, you're like, Jesus Christ. That's why a lot of people, like when they're introduced to him, they think he's on cocaine all the time. He's just said it's just gratitude. He just wakes up stoked. His family, wife, kids aren't dead. Dude, it's good. You're born. You're successful just off being born. The odds of that happening are so against you. They're so against you.
I was doing a guided meditation on the bus, and bro, I literally felt like so grateful. I felt like everybody and everything, and their
Gratitude is such a strong one, bro.
Was just lifted off my shoulders. Just like, why are you worried about anything? Literally,
everything's in its right place.
Everything's in its right place. Everything's in its right place.
Everything's just it's just
perfect.
dance.
It's perfect.
I like to watch traffic sometimes because it just starts to, you can start playing some like triplet 3-4 time like classical music in your head. It's like a dance, watching everything just be and flow. There's like a dance happening. Red light, green light, everything moves. Red light, they stop. The other ones move. Green light, they stop. Everything moves, and you're just watching it. It's just like nothing matters. It's just like
you're just
this moment.
You're just high off of.
It's just everything
like,
is just right now, and it's just like no worries. It's just the state of trust, man. The state of trust that you should just be in. It's just a state of not only gratitude towards the universe and everything in it, but like, nigga, I was gonna say another word, of trust. That no matter where things are, they're and where they're supposed to be. Like, and it's funny because people say that like, oh, that's an excuse for when things go bad. You just tell yourself that, but
religion has
things
faith,
going good.
right?
Things going good wouldn't happen without things going bad. We've been saying this for 3 episodes, bro. But it's every time we say it, it's just true.
So repeat it.
Because you need things to go bad for things to go good. Life is a sinusoidal function. Like it's just gonna keep going up and down. You can't make it just go up and then stay there because it's just gonna adjust. It's just gonna, your brain subconsciously is gonna adjust to that high, and it's gonna become the new base, the new middle, and you're gonna go up and down from there. And that's how it's supposed to be. You're supposed to just keep going up, making that new up your baseline. Keep going up again, making that new up your baseline. Keep going up again, and be at peace with that.
Oh man, there's just it's crazy. How are we even alive?
And at this point,
how are we even able to contemplate this?
And at this point, bro, this is not even trying to communicate some big deep shit to anyone. This is literally between me and you, and between me and myself, and you and yourself. This is just shit we're trying to like instill into ourselves. This is still shit we struggle with every fucking day. Because there's days when shit's gonna happen, you're gonna forget all of that hip like doopy doopy doop doop bop shit. You're just gonna forget all of it. And you're gonna go back into that same shit that you preach against all the time. And the same thing from the guy we met on the bus. And we're like, where'd you learn on this shit? It's like, I'm 65. And you could tell like he's at peace.
Yeah.
We don't know him enough to know, like maybe he's fully crack dependent, but even that, he might be at peace with that.
Yeah.
You've seen so much shit at that age. 65, he's probably seen one of the wars, right? Or maybe older, actually. No, because that's 40. That's the 40s.
Yeah, I think he was born in 57 then.
Okay, so he passed it. So probably like Cold War-ish.
Yeah.
In that era. So he's seen some shit. He's seen probably like a few recessions. Things go fully shit. He's dealt with seeing his parents die.
Some revolutions.
Grandparents, parents die. His kids are old, probably taking care of him if he has kids. He's probably lost his kids. He's probably went through divorces.
He's also speaking about how like people ask him like, "Oh, you're 65, you still exercise?"
That's crazy to me. My math teacher told me that in grade 12. It's like if you quit on your body will quit. It'll just deteriorate. You could be 65 and doing 5Ks. Like you could be doing that. But what's fed to you, conditioning, is that at 65, you retire, you go sit home all day. And just waste away and wait for diseases to take you.
Yeah, enjoy it. Enjoy your
401k. Enjoy your retirement money. Go spend it on a nice car.
Fuck
And
that.
spend your time
Bro,
sitting
I
down.
want to teach when I'm old. When I'm
Spend-
old like that,
Oh,
I'm
dude,
I'm gonna teach.
My nigga, I have
100%.
speeches in my head all the time that I'm gonna give when I get to that point. Because all I want to do is just gather all of the fucking wisdom and knowledge that I can and just give it away.
Pass it
Because that's
on.
how the universe works. And I was gonna talk about this episode, but I think we should leave it for the next one. But I probably said this already. Definitely said this already. The universe is expanding at all times. Currently, we're moving at somewhere around 33,000 miles an hour. We're
Yep.
expanding. And the universe, and every prediction science has always made, is that billions, trillions of years from now, the universe will still be expanding. So you living in the universe, what do you think you are driven to do? Why do you think you want to reproduce so much? You want to expand. Your drive that you're born with is expansion. Why are you so geared towards art and wanting to survive past and putting all of this energy out? It's because you want to expand. You want to expand. You want to bring out new ideas. You want to expand new knowledge. That's why we've gotten to the point where we're building these universities, spreading this information. It's because we're expanding. It's all expanding. Making more money, making new businesses, bringing new ideas. There's still shit we don't know. We're going to find them out. Going to expand. So anyone pretending that they have nothing creative about them is bullshitting themselves, and that's something that's been taught to them. There is something out there that you're good at, and if it doesn't exist yet, you're probably the one who's supposed to create it. Because in you is the ability to expand because you're expanding right now. So in any way, shape, or form right now, whether you believe it or not, you're expanding in some way. If you don't create that new thing, you're going to reproduce. If you don't reproduce, you're going to become a teacher. You're going to get a job where you provide money for the government to keep expanding. So in a way, you're expanding indirectly. So either way, the universe will keep expanding. And I'm just aware of that.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to find my way to expand. Whatever drives me is what I'm going to do. What you found what drives you, photography, fucking fashion, whatever else you're into, meditation, yoga. You want to learn that, right? You want to master that so you can teach it to people, right?
Yeah.
That's your expansion.
And the hardest thing is just to find what it is that works for you.
And guess what expansion did? A lot of explosions, a lot of stars dying and being reborn. So there's a lot of pain in it and expanding. It's a lot of explosions and dying stars, dying relationships, dying fucking computers, bad emotions, fucking struggling. But just keep expanding. You create Earth. Create Earth. Where niggas are having these conversations. There's definitely other niggas around listening to this as we speak.
If there was a second sentient species.
Bro, we should fully dedicate an episode to like alien shit. It's 6, so.
Okay. It's a good place to call it a day.
Bro, end it up. Been talking too much.
3, 2, 1.
Like, end it.
End it.
Seam Reaper Space. Go buy some stuff.
Yeah, Seamreaper.space.
We don't promote ourselves at all.
We actually don't.
That's
Yeah.
why we just start talking shit.
I'm still working on the website, planning to
Ever
some more-
expanding.
put some more information up about the UN SDGs, United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, which is a set of 17 goals, basically set to
17. nigga.
17. There's a whole bunch from like health to education to gender equality.
That's true. My brain automatically goes to like plastic when I think of
Yeah,
sustainability. There's like
environment, A whole
self-sustainability
bunch
and
of
all
shit.
that.
And
Yeah,
it's just
true.
if you don't know about it, a lot of people don't. I was put onto it by my professor, but it's really like it's good because it's just a guideline to what you can do to change.
What can you do
whatever-
today with what you have?
What can you do today? What can I do today? I can teach people about it. That's one aspect of it, education. Second thing is the sustainability aspect.
Mm,
Right.
these bottles.
Buy some
Better
metal
than-
bottles.
better than-
Stay away from plastic because
Yeah.
plastic has toxic chemicals
A lot of
that
shit.
gets released into your water, your food, blah blah blah, and is not good for your body.
On a hot
not
day-
good information
On
for
a
your
hot
body.
day, carrying a plastic bottle around.
Because everything is
getting
information.
fried by the
Everything
sun.
everything is information. The sun rays hitting your skin, that's information for your body to
Process it.
process it into energy for you.
Vitamin D.
When you breathe, when you inhale, the oxygen combusts
Holy
with the
shit! I
food.
just started breathing manually.
Yeah.
As soon as you said when you inhale, I inhaled. I was like,
When you inhale,
oh shit! I've been inhaling this
the
whole time.
oxygen combusts with the food inside your body, creates energy for you to expend. Everything is information. Just spread the right information.
And your eyes are blinking right now, and that's a purpose to keep your fucking eyes clean and shit.
What?
It's just your eyes. You're blinking
I'm blinking.
automatically.
Oh, yeah.
Now you're aware of it, but you're blinking automatically this entire hour I've been recording, and that's your body trying to keep your eyes good. Keep your eyes good. You've been breathing. You've been digesting whatever M&Ms you just ate.
Oh, another thing, just
Shit.
this is super off topic, but fuck. Every time I eat late, I have a shitty sleep. Every single time, because my body's trying to digest and sleep at the same time.
It's always before you do it. You always have a moment of like, I shouldn't do this.
I should not.
Fuck
do,
it.
I'm gonna do it
But
anyways.
fuck it.
Yeah.
And then you wake up the next day. Fuck. Shouldn't have done that.
It's okay once in a while because your body is able to adapt to it, but if it's like every day, then it's chronic. Not good for you.
I mean, it's definitely not a good idea. It's just extra energy. Like you're supposed to rest, and you're giving your body like a
Yeah.
job to do. Like
That's why
it's supposed to
yogis say, don't eat after 6.
damn, that's too much, man. I'm gonna
Yeah.
start with like an hour at least. At least
Yeah.
an hour. The minimum. Do the bare minimum that you can and expand it.
Yeah.
We start too much with big goals. Like do the bare minimum. What's the bare minimum you could do to start?
Right.
to
My
start, like-
I have one friend who keeps saying, "Yeah, bro, I'm just gonna go cold turkey on smoking weed." He says this every single month for the past 2 years, and I go like, "Yo, bro, just cut down once a week, maybe."
Start smoking less.
Yeah, and he's like, "Nah, bro, I can do it. I can do it." It's funny.
All right. I've been putting out songs every week for the past month. I haven't promoted at all here. I don't really care to promote myself here, but yeah, putting it, if you're into like music or whatever, you want to listen, you haven't listened to my songs. Care Package 1, crazy experience.
Yeah.
Consistency is actually one of the hardest things ever.
Yeah.
Having to like record this every week, edit it, and then doing the like in 2 days I have a new song coming out, and luckily I managed to do that this weekend fast enough that it's off my hands now. I only have to edit the promo, which takes like an hour, but like doing shit every week and
Every day,
being
every week.
consistent. But the thing is, I strongly recommend that saying this directly to you, making it public makes it easier to stick with it. Because if it's between yourself, you can easily lie to yourself. This is why we show up every week to record this.
Yeah.
Because if
It's
you don't
so
show up,
easy.
I clown you. If I don't show up, you clown me.
Yeah.
It's like shit. Like we're doing this together, so I should probably show up. And to that, we've been going 18 weeks, haven't missed a single one,
Amazing.
except for the bonus episode, which I still managed to like put that up every like that week.
Yeah. When I went
Even
to
though
the
it was
thing.
fully out of control, having that episode out, because it was just those guys not sending us the audio. We still managed to work a way around it and not miss out on that week. And consistency is super important.
Yeah. Oh my god, bro! Like, find a friend who you have like similar interests.
Like you want to
Fucking-
cut down on weed, bro? Tell a friend like,
Yeah, and do it together, man. Like, oh.
yeah. Tell a friend like, encourage each other. Like, stop trying to just stop. Like a habit that you've probably been doing for the past 2
This
years.
doesn't work, bro. If you go cold, if you're addicted to alcohol and you go cold turkey, you die.
You're gonna go crazy.
That's how Amy Winehouse. That's why she's gone.
Because your body is just like, what's
Yeah,
going on?
What do I do now?
What the fuck? I've been like, that's been sustaining me, and then all of a sudden it's gone. Like, just slow down. Of course, it's easy to like have it, and then you forget that you're just supposed to cut down, and you start like it just starts, that dopamine just starts looping, and you have a second one, and you have a third one instead of having just one glass and being good. But it's just like do the smallest thing you can, and then be patient. Care Package 1 out now. Seam Reaper Space up now. Collection still up.
Seam Reaper
for
Space.
consumption.
Put up some new photos. Check it out. I have a new resources page where I put up just podcasts,
Information.
YouTube videos, any valuable information that I come across that is conducive to our evolution. I will put it up on that page. So go check it out. Seamreaper.space.
Give us money.
But first, give the earth money.